We live in a fast-paced, noisy, unstable world, where everything changes too quickly, where fear is constant, and peace. But there is a philosophy that has survived centuries, wars, and empires, and still lives on, because it touches something essential in the human soul. The art of living in peace, not when everything is fine, but when everything is falling apart. That philosophy is Stoicism. What is Stoicism? Stoicism was born in ancient Greece, but flourished in Rome. During times of emperors, slavery, and persecution, it wasn't a philosophy for salons. It was forged in real life, by men who faced loss, prison, and even death. Thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius weren't looking for easy answers. They sought virtue, courage, serenity, and meaning. Even in the face of suffering, the core of Stoicism is simple and powerful. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond to everything that happens to you. True peace, then, isn't about what happens outside. It's about how you stand inside. The Stoic divide: what depends on me? Stoic philosophy begins with one essential question: what is under my control? The answer: my thoughts, my actions, my choices, my character. Everything else, other people's opinions, the past, the future, health, weather, politics, death, is not in our control. This is not resignation, this is freedom. Because while the world tries to control us through fear of the unpredictable, the Stoic says, I do my best with what I have, and I accept what I cannot change. This mindset lifts the weight of the impossible off your shoulders and gives power back to the only place it belongs: inside you. Living in peace is not isolation, it's positioning. Many think peace is the absence of problems. The Stoic says, it's not. Peace is the presence of virtue. It's living with purpose and balance, even when the world is out of balance. Like a rock in the middle of a storm. It doesn't stop the wind. It doesn't silence the thunder, but it remains firm. Life will bring loss, criticism, illness, betrayal, disappointment. That's inevitable. But what you do with that is where your inner freedom begins. Seneca, life is not short. Seneca, one of Stoicism's greatest names, said, life is long enough if lived wisely, but we waste it with fear, distractions, and complaints. The Stoic doesn't run from pain, but sees it as part of the growth process. When someone is lost, the Stoic grieves, but also gives thanks for the time they had. When criticized, he listens, but only keeps what is useful, and returns to the present. When everything is uncertain, he takes a deep breath. Now is all I have. How can I act with virtue, courage, and wisdom in this moment? Epictetus, from slave to sage. Epictetus was born a slave. He suffered abuse. He lived in captivity. But he became one of the greatest Stoic teachers in history. He said, it's not what happens that hurts us, but how we choose to interpret what happens. This is revolutionary. It means your peace does not depend on your circumstances, but on your view of them. You can be surrounded by chaos and still have a calm soul, because being free, in Stoic philosophy, means having control over yourself. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who wrote to his soul, was betrayed by close allies, suffered illness. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, wrote a personal journal that today stands as one of Stoicism's greatest works. Meditations. He ruled during war, lost children, and even so, he wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, difficulty doesn't delay your growth. It's part of it. He also said, if it's outside your control, don't let it steal your peace. That is a powerful lesson for today. We live anxious about what we cannot change. News, opinions, politics, the economy. But we forget that we can change how we respond to all of it. And the Bible, do faith and Stoicism contradict each other? Quite the opposite. There is a deep bridge between Stoic principles and biblical teachings. When Paul said, I have learned to be content in whatever circumstances I am, he was expressing a Stoic heart, and one filled with the presence of God. Jesus said, in this world you will have trouble, but take heart. That is faith, but also philosophical wisdom. Peace of mind doesn't depend on the world being at peace. It depends on being aligned with what is eternal: truth, virtue, conscience, the presence of God. Stoic practices to live in peace. Here's some Stoic practices you can begin today. 1. Distinguish what is within your control. When something upsets you, Ask, do I control this? I may be disturbed. If yes, act. If not, release it. 2. Morning meditation. When you wake up, think, today I may be criticized. I may lose something. Prepare your mind like a warrior sharpens his sword. 3. Evening review. Before bed, reflect. Was I just today? Courageous.com. Where can I improve? 4. Return to the present. When anxiety hits, take a deep breath and say, now is all I have. I can handle this moment. Sentinel of the soul. A peace no one can steal. You can live in peace under any circumstance. Not because the world will stop hurting you, but because you will stop surrendering your heart to what doesn't deserve it. This is Stoicism. This is maturity. This is wisdom. And when wisdom unites with faith, you don't just survive hardship, you grow through it. Nothing shakes the soul that has chosen to live with purpose. There is silence. Conclusion. True peace is not silencing the noise. It's having a clean conscience, a disciplined soul, and a watchful mind. It's knowing that the world can scream, but within you, that everything can fall apart, but you still stand firm, like a sentinel. And you, Juliana, who are building this project, remember, you're not here to please everyone, nor to control everything. You are here to live with truth, with strength, and with faith. Be strong, be serene, be light.